everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the new stamp from Citrus Twist. It is the Travelogue V2 stamp kit, and it just came out this month with the new Travelogue release. And it is really fun and really versatile, and I've had a lot of fun experimenting with it, and I wanted to show you some of the different ways I have used this set to create different elements for my projects and for my future layouts. Before I do that, I wanted to walk through the set a little bit. There are these 6 smaller circles. They happen to fit really nicely. I'm keeping this white paper back here. Sorry that it's crinkly, but otherwise it's hard to see it. They fit really nicely inside these bigger circles, which have some sentiments around them. There's also these fun scripty sentiments. There's some icons, some sentiments in different fonts. And then my absolute favorite stamp in this set is the geotag with this sort of rounded rectangle on it. So let me show you some of the things that I have been doing with this stamp set. I love using stamps to create my own ephemera and to use them to create texture and to use them to create journal cards. So here's some examples of the things that I've been making with this kit. So I have a die punch of a whole bunch of different tags. They're fun, like stitched. And I used the Wild at Heart and I did some repeat stamping there. And then that middle one, I don't know if you can tell, but I actually embossed it. So it has that nice different visual texture, and it also feels different. This would be great layered with other ephemera. I also created this example of the geotag with one of the sentiments, the trailblazing sentiment, that could also be layered. Then there's also just the circle stamps. So the cool thing about this stamp kit is those small circles fit perfectly inside the larger circles. And they're really neat, and it's really cool to layer them. Lots of different uses for them. I am not good at fussy cutting. Some people are. Good on you if you are. At least fussy cutting circles. So I have found that using dies, if I want to cut this out, works best for me. But maybe you are a fussy cutting champion and you can cut circles better than me. Lots of different ways to add color to these. You could color them with markers. You could use different colored inks, which I have done on this card, and I'll get back to this card in a minute. I want to talk through it a little bit. Another way you can use them is to actually do embossing on the center image. So I did that on these 2 cards that I made. Make sure you can see that. And it just has a really neat visual texture on there. I also used these stamps, as you can see, to make these journal cards. So I used this as the jumping off point to tell this story, and I used that geotag stamp as a place to hold journaling. I'm really excited about that, and I think it's a really versatile way to use the stamp. Another way that I used that geotag stamp to add journaling is on these 2 cards, where I used different icons. So on this one, I just used the camera icon, and this might be 3 things I'm taking pictures of, might be 3 things in the photo. And here I put the backpack icon inside one of the bigger circles. So you don't just have to put the little circles inside the big circles. The icons all also fit inside those circles, and they look really nice there. Another thing that I like to do is layer stamped elements onto existing journal cards. So obviously on this card you could use this space for journaling, but I like to add either die cut ephemera or create my own through stamping. And so for example, this one would look really pretty on there, especially with that implied line of the sunset with the line on the journal card. It looks really nice. And I wanted to talk specifically about this card that I made because I think it's a really fun way to pull in the stamps and add texture and layers and different colors to an already existing journal card. So I wanted to play a little bit more with color, and I love this like citrus print on here. It's in the big 6x8 size as well. But I wanted to think, okay, what colors do I want to include on this layer? So I looked at my Distress Oxides that I had next to, I literally lined them up next to the card, and I found Saltwater Taffy, Mustard Seed, and Wild Honey worked really well with those colors. And so I swatched them quickly to make sure that I liked how that looked, and I held them up to the card. Okay, do I see these colors in there? Yes. And this is a great way to think about how you want to pull color in to your layouts. So going through and seeing like what inks do you have, what colors are in the papers you're already using. Are they warm colors? Are they cool colors? Do you want to balance them out? Is there a certain color you want to pull out? A certain color you want to add emphasis to? These are all things I like to think about, especially when I'm creating my own ephemera from stamps. So these 3 colors lined up well with the colors already in that card. So I used the Make Time to Enjoy the Simple Themes bigger stamp, and the Just for Fun, which also one of those scripty sentiments happens to fit in the middle there. Then I used the circle die to cut it out, and I popped it up with a pop dot just to give it a little bit of visual texture, because I like the way that that looks there. Obviously, all of these strategies and ways that you could use these stamps could be applied to 4x6 or different sizes. That's one of the reasons I punched and die cut a bunch of these different sized tags so that I had them. I really like shipping tags. I think they're a really cool thing to use. And I used them in the white so that I could look at different colors and pull different colors into my stamping. So I might layer this on top of a 6x8 piece of paper, for example. I'm trying to grab one from over in my stack. They're hiding. So if I was, so these are the 6x8 papers, most of them that come with the kit. If I was going to use, for example, I think when I was making that Wild Heart, I was looking at this piece of 6x8 paper. And I was looking at, okay, what are the colors that I'm seeing here? I liked that purple, I liked that green. So that when I did that stamping, I pulled those colors in, and that really lifts out, I really wanted to lift out that purple in that paper. Now, could I use a piece of purple paper? Absolutely. Just like in this one, I used a yellow paper to do that stamping on, and I feel like it really pulled a lot into it. You could also emboss either the Just for Fun or the Make Time to Enjoy. Lots of different options for adding different kinds of textures. These can also be, once they're cut, they can be layered. And you could add like an embellishment cluster over here. You could think about how you wanted, what kinds of embellishments you wanted to have. I really like the idea of doing some of these circles as like a heading. I was looking at doing something like this with a title here, using this as a title. Again, I'm pulling these colors because they match the colors in the paper. So I love the idea of having something here, doing some stamping here, one of these stamps, and then maybe even sewing across there as my title. So I'm looking here at my stamps and thinking, okay, I'm thinking of which stories I want to tell, because I'm working on my New Zealand album. And so it doesn't really have a floral element to it, but this would be really cute for like an Easter layout or any other type of travel layouts. So this could be really great to go the wherever you are, be all there with the heart compass inside. I really love the way that looks. Or the binoculars, that's really cute. So lots of different options here. If you want more space for journaling, for example, if you wanted this to be a full page layout, you could repeat stamp this. You could stamp it on white and fussy cut them out and have lots of journaling space. This could come down the side and you could put a geotag on top there. That's a cool way. That could be a little title there. Lots of different ways to use these. I like how this pink, I would probably, if I was going to use this, I would probably use a slightly different pink, maybe spun sugar. This is, I think, picked raspberry. It's a little too red for me, but it's still a really pretty color. And again, you could sew down here. You could add more geotags if you wanted to have other places for journaling. Lots of really cool options. Throw just the inside circle in there. This is what happens when I try to fussy cut. It gets all wonky and weird. But there's lots of different ways that you can use these. So I hope you maybe got some new ideas of different ways to use your stamps. Let me know what you think. Hope that this was fun. It was really fun to play with these stamps to make this video. If you try any of these ideas, tag me. Let me see what you make. Maybe you want to play with tags. Maybe you want to play with circles. Maybe you want to play with journaling cards or layers or titles. Just let me know. I'd love to see what you make. Thanks for watching. Bye.